If you're looking to buy a hybrid Honda Fit or Toyota Prius, then there's a few things that you should know about these hybrid vehicles before you make that decision. And in this video, I'm going to help you guys learn a bit more about these hybrid vehicles, some of the common issues that you might face, and how you can extend the battery life of your hybrid car. Now today, we're going to mainly be talking about the Toyota Prius and the Honda Fit hybrid, but this information is also going to apply to other hybrid models. And for those who have been following the channel closely, I know we did a video about hybrid vehicles when I had the 23 Corolla Cross that was given to me by Toyota Zambia. But in that video, there's a number of things that I didn't mention, and I felt like it's okay for us to do another video on hybrid vehicles and get into a bit of the nitty-gritties of looking at a car like this Toyota Prius and the more popular Honda Fit hybrid. So the first thing that we're going to look at when it comes to these hybrid vehicles is talking about the battery health and the general condition of the hybrid system. The point of why people buy hybrid vehicles is because of that hybrid functionality that gives you better fuel efficiency and also a slightly better driving performance because of that electric motor that can make the car feel a little bit more powerful and much smoother as you're driving in the city and you've got a lot of stop-start driving. So one of the biggest killers that we have when it comes to hybrid batteries in these vehicles is heat. So one thing that I didn't mention in my other hybrid video is that these cars come with a cooling system for your hybrid battery. When it comes to the Toyota Prius, if you're looking for where the fan is that cools your hybrid battery, it's right at the back, right behind the driver's seat, as you can see in the video that I'm overlaying. So when it comes to keeping your battery cool, it is very important that you keep the passage to this vent nice and clear. So you don't want a situation where you've got kids in the back and they throw a jersey over that vent, or they put something that blocks the airflow into that vent and you go on a long trip and you're driving. That can really affect the lifespan of your battery, because that vent being blocked means that there's not enough air going to the battery and keeping it cool. And the biggest problem with these batteries is that once the temperature goes up, it actually breaks down the chemical reactions that go on inside the battery. And unfortunately, once this breakdown starts to happen, the damage is not reversible. So you always want to make sure that you have a clear path for your hybrid battery to be cooled through this vent. So already, because heat is a very big contributing factor to the damage of hybrid batteries, we are pretty much at a disadvantage here in Zambia. Because even like this year, we recorded some of the highest temperatures that we've had, in different parts of Zambia, which is something like 41 degrees Celsius. So already bringing the hybrid cars to this market can, cause these batteries to degrade quite a bit. But one good piece of advice that I can give you is to use the AC inside your car. This also helps to, keep your hybrid battery cool, because the air that is used to cool the hybrid battery is actually going to be coming from inside the cabin. In a hybrid car like this Toyota Prius I'm sitting in right now, the air conditioning is running with the engine off. So you can use your air conditioning system to just help, keep that cool air inside the car. It's running with the hybrid system. It's an electronic system. So don't be afraid to use the AC. That way you're going to get some nice cool air to cool your hybrid battery as you drive. So we've stepped outside here with the Toyota Prius, just trying to look at something very important, which is the repairability and the maintenance that goes into a hybrid vehicle like this one or the Honda Fit hybrid. So basically what we have here is two complex systems that come together to be able to make the hybrid system work. We've got an engine here that's in the general construct is kind of the same as you would get for a normal petrol engine. So this is a Toyota 2ZR engine, but it has been modified to work with the hybrid system that is in this car. So if you take a look even on this side, where you would normally have a belt that is spun by the crankshaft that would turn things like your alternator and your AC compressor, this one doesn't have that, because all those things have been built into either the hybrid system or they're just electronically controlled, like the AC system on this car. So when it comes to the maintenance on these vehicles, you don't get a lot of specialized mechanics that can have the tools to read things like the condition of your battery and just being able to generally repair the hybrid system on these vehicles. They're not very popular, so it doesn't really benefit a lot of mechanics to work on vehicles like this. But when you do find yourself a mechanic who is able to work on these vehicles, they tend to have a higher price tag. And that's just basically because of the scarcity and basic supply or availability of their skill set, which allows them to charge a higher price. So that's just something that you need to think about Another thing is when it comes to parts that you need to replace on these vehicles, like I said, they're not very common, so you're not going to have people importing these parts and just letting them sit on the shelf. You generally have to import anything that you need to repair when it comes to these hybrid vehicles, whether you have an inverter that goes bad, a motor or something inside the system that goes bad. You're generally not going to be able to just walk into a shop in town and find those things sitting on a shelf. You're going to have to order those parts. So this is a high voltage system, so you need people who are certified to be able to work on this stuff. When it comes to internal combustion engines, this technology has been around for a very long time. A lot of Zambian mechanics know how to work on engines. A lot of this stuff is mechanical, so you're just using spanners to remove stuff and put stuff back together. But when it comes to the electrical system on the hybrids, this is high voltage stuff. You don't want to do guesswork around the hybrid system. It could cost you your life, and not a lot of people have been working on these, so the chances of something going wrong is very high, and you could be dealing with something like a small chip on the inside that is damaged, and then you go around trying to change different things and just end up spending a lot of money on things that are not even supposed to be worked on. So that's my basic thoughts on what you should think about when it comes to the maintenance and repairability of these cars. So then another question that I can try to answer is, what happens if your hybrid battery goes bad? Well, since it's a hybrid vehicle, it has the internal combustion engine, and basically what your car is going to do is it's going to go into what is called a limp mode, and you're going to be using your engine more than you're going to be using the electrical system, or to pretty much cut out the electrical system completely, and all you're going to be using is that internal combustion engine. Now, what happens in this situation is you lose basically the value of the hybrid vehicle. One thing that you should note is that a hybrid vehicle, because of the battery that is in the car, and also because of the electric motor that has been added to the vehicle, these things can add weight to the car. So the car essentially won't be as efficient, because this 2ZR that is in this car was built around having that hybrid system to help out. And once that hybrid system is not there to help out, then you're going to see worse fuel consumption than even a 2ZR that is not attached to a hybrid system. And generally you're just going to have worse fuel consumption from the hybrid vehicle that you have. So it is very important that you pay attention to the warning lights that will come on your dashboard. I know that in the Honda Fit you're going to get an IMA error on the dashboard. So when you see that IMA error, you have to plug the car into a diagnosis machine so that you can see exactly what is the problem. It will tell you whether it's because the battery is low on its lifespan, it's about to go out, or there's a problem in the charging system. So that's the only way that you can really pinpoint exactly what is going on with your hybrid system, is when you see that light on your dashboard, then go ahead and plug in a diagnosis machine, and that way you're going to pinpoint exactly what the problem is and get that sorted out. So when it comes to the cost of replacing hybrid batteries, like I mentioned in my other video, it's going to cost you anywhere from $2,000 to, in some cases, even up to $6,000, $8,000. It all depends on which car you're driving. There's a bit of a difference when it comes to Toyotas and the Honda Fit. The Honda Fit is going to be using cylindrical modules, while the Toyota Prius and a number of other Toyotas are going to be using what are called prismatic modules. So within these modules, you're going to have cells within them. The Toyotas tend to have, modules go out at different times. So one battery can have a different number of modules within it. And you can basically replace, one of those modules. If one of those modules has gone bad, then you can replace that one. It's going to cost you a bit less when it comes to buying the module as compared to replacing the whole battery bank. So when it comes to Toyotas, that way you're kind of going to be able to save a little bit, and kind of extend the cost that you're going to be paying. But when it comes to the Honda Fits, from the research that I've done so far, it looks like the modules inside the Honda Fit tend to go out uniformly, so they're going to basically degrade at the same time. So you're not going to have an opportunity to just replace one module within the system. You're generally going to have to replace the whole battery bank when it comes to the Honda Fit. So here are some of my final thoughts when it comes to these hybrid vehicles. Hybrid vehicles and even electric vehicles right now are not really something for the mass market of Zambians, because we really have cost conscious buyers who are buying cars like the Toyota Prius or the Honda Fit. So these are people who are looking at trying to save every single kwacha. So pretty much the only benefit that they get is that extra saving when it comes to fuel. But that kind of now cancels itself out when you get a situation where you're talking about replacing a hybrid battery at $2,000 or even up to $8,000. That kind of cancels out the whole idea of trying to save when it comes to buying a hybrid vehicle. So unless you're a person who can plan for these things ahead, so once you buy your hybrid vehicle, and like I said, these things last up to 150,000 kilometers. Some cars will last even 200,000 240,000 kilometers with no issues with the hybrid system, especially if you stay on top of things like taking care of the cooling system of your hybrid battery. This thing can really last you a very long time, and you can really be able to plan ahead so that when the time comes where you need to replace your hybrid battery, and because it's not a question of if this is going to happen, your hybrid battery is going to degrade and there is going to be a time where you need to replace the hybrid battery. So you can plan around this and be able to save. And once you've saved that money and you've bought your hybrid battery, at least that you are secure for the next 10 to 15 years. And I think that at the end of the day, if you're going to be using your hybrid vehicle, you plan to keep your hybrid vehicle for that long, it's definitely going to pay itself off in terms of how you're going to be saving on your fuel, and also just the important factor of contributing to protecting the environment. So those are my thoughts on hybrid vehicles, answering some of the questions that you guys have left me in my inbox. If there's any other things that I have missed out, if you own a hybrid vehicle yourself, what has been your experience? Let us know in the comment section below so that everybody can just keep learning, and we're getting to know how to take care of our hybrid vehicles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, leave a like, share this video with somebody who would find this information useful. Until the next video, guys, take care and drive safe.